Right now it is December of 2020, so we are going into 2021, and one of the hottest topics when it comes to online business is the ad agency, SMMA, social media marketing, whatever you want to call it. Seems like everyone and their dog is trying to start a marketing agency. So, you know, my name's Sam, I'm 25 years old. 2.5 years ago, myself and my business partner, we set out to create a digital marketing agency ourselves. It sort of happened by accident. I didn't think we necessarily went into it with a lot of intention. It just sort of happened, and lots happened along the way. I definitely learned a thing or two when it comes to successfully growing a marketing agency. We've got over 40 clients in the UK. We have 6 full-time employees. So in this video, I'm going to kind of break down a bit of the journey we took to get to this point, some of the things I've learned along the way, and maybe you can take something away from this video. Firstly though, make sure you like this video if you find it interesting. Hit that subscribe button obviously, and then you can also hit the notification bell if you want to get notified when I make videos. So let's rewind back to 2018, summer of 2018, myself and my housemate graduating from university. I was personal trainer, he was actually working at the time, he'd graduated a year before me, but we were living together. We decided that we were going to try and start a marketing agency. We had no money, we had no clients, but we definitely had a little bit of ambition, a little bit of drive, and we were willing to do whatever it took to make it work. We had a couple clients that I managed to pick up from connections. I was a personal trainer, so a couple of gym owners I knew. He managed to pick up a client from a gym owner he knew. We were working with a few gyms, doing some basic Facebook ads, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know a lot about. And he was working full time. I was about to graduate university, so it literally came to the point where I had my last exam, and I was then, right, this is it, I'm going for this, we're going for this full time. And I actually told my business partner, I said to him, look, you've got to quit your job, or, that's it, quit your job, or do this with me, or don't. There's no real middle ground. And so to be fair play to him, the next day, pretty much, he quit his job. And that was 2.5 years ago, the summer just gone, so 2018. And a lot has happened since then. I had a connection, actually a client from the gym I was training in, who was a CEO of quite a large UK company. And this is one of those parts in a business development journey where luck comes into play, and luck definitely came into play here. I didn't get the connection through a family member or a friend or anything like that. He merely came to the gym for personal training, and I happened to personal train him. So for about 3 months, I was kind of coaching him through some rehab, and it got to the point where I was talking to him about what we were doing with our business, with our agency, and what we were trying to do. And then he just invited me into the office. And so I went into the office, and we're talking 1,500 employees, hundreds of millions in revenue, this company, and they invited us to help them to run their Facebook ads. That was our first official, I would say, bigger client that we ever got into the agency. And that gave us the revenue, that gave us the cash flow to be able to, start the business and take it to that next sort of step. This is the point in a business where lots of young people will make the wrong decisions. Of course, we took some money out of the company. Of course, we treated ourselves to some things, and we haven't had any money until this point. But at no point did we really splurge. We kept reinvesting. And I would say one thing that we did that a lot of business owners don't is that we spent thousands on marketing. We spent thousands on things like just trying Facebook ads for ourselves to get more clients. We invested in some coaching, some mentoring. We spent some money on our website. We did all the things that we should be doing and invested in ourselves. We were obsessed about learning. We'd buy the best books, even if they were hundreds of dollars. So we do all the things that you're supposed to do. And yet still 6 months later, when that partnership ended with that company and our revenue dropped 70-80%, we had no money coming in, and we had to act pretty fast. And our revenue dipped massively, and that was probably one of the hardest parts we ever had to go through. This was still just 2 of us at this point. This is probably 2019 now. And it was difficult because, we had to essentially learn how to go from being a consultant, with one client to having multiple clients. And we had some clients, don't get me wrong. But between then and now, a lot has changed, and I'll kind of talk about some of the things that we did wrong and some of the things that we did right. So one thing we realized was that obviously there's hundreds and hundreds of local businesses out there. So we started to kind of focus on smaller companies, local businesses, brick and mortar businesses. And so we were picking up clients, and we could never really push past that kind of 10 client barrier. making anywhere from $7,000 to $8,000 a month, which for a lot of people was fantastic, but we wanted to make, it was never going to really help us make a lot of money. So to really push past that barrier, we were taking on any client, and I suggest that when you're this early on in your business journey, taking on any work you can get is a smart choice. And a lot of people might disagree, but I personally think you have to learn from your mistakes, and you have to just take the work as it comes to you when you need it. And then down the line, that's when you can be a bit more selective. So January of 2020 is where it started to get a bit more serious. We started to focus on construction. We had one client in construction who was doing particularly well. And so we just thought, let's just try this. And we started to only really target and brand ourselves around construction. We rebranded ourselves, and I put some photos on the screen of what our previous brand was like. We put a lot of time and attention with some help from some mentors into our branding, and we kind of came up with a new branding scheme that was all based around kind of growing companies and focusing on home improvements and construction. And then when the pandemic hit, COVID-19, lots of local businesses closed and construction carried on. So that really helped us kind of grow our business, and we went from January 2020 with maybe 8 clients, February 12, and then 15, and then 20, and then 30, and then right now in December of 2020 we've got 40 plus maybe clients doing around £40,000 a month in revenue, with 6 employees. And it's taken us a long time to get to this point, but I kind of wanted to go into some details and some kind of mistakes that we made along the way. The question I get all the time is like, how do you get clients? And I think people need to kind of backtrack and think about the customer. Why is the customer going to hire an agency? Is the first question you should be asking yourself. Are you helping them solve a problem? Are you helping them get from A to B? If it's a revenue gap, you're helping them fit. How do you sit in that gap? How can you make them trust you? Think about if an agency were to approach you, what would make you trust them? So we were constantly posting, obsessing about case studies. Anytime a client got a result, we would get them on the phone, we would put it on Skype, we'd video it, we'd use that case study, and now we've got 20, 30 case studies that we use all the time. And nothing is going to help you get clients more than case studies. So if you need to do free work to get results for people, make them money, and then get a good case study from them, nothing is going to get you clients as good as that. You can put a Facebook ad up, you can do outreach, you can do whatever you want, as long as you've got good case studies. It doesn't really matter. And the second point is thinking about how can you price yourself and base your whole business on performance, right? If you want to grow an agency, you've got 2 choices. You can either just charge £500 a month, £600 a month, £1,000 a month, maybe get a few good ones, big retainers, or you can base your pricing, how you price on the value you're creating. So if you can go to a company and say, hey, we're going to help you bring £50,000, £100,000, £200,000 in extra revenue per month, and we're going to take £5,000, £6,000, £10,000 to do that, it changes the dynamic completely. And once you can prove that, then the ball is in your court, and you can set the prices, you can set the rules, and that's what's happened with our business today. So a few other things that I would suggest you do if you're looking to kind of start an agency or start an online business. The first one is just obsess about being the best person in your industry, be the best marketer, the best advertiser, just obsess about that one thing that you do and becoming amazing at it. If you do that, the likeliness of you succeeding it just amplifies so much more. The second thing is don't take money out of your company where possible. Invest back into yourself. If we'd have taken money out of the company and just gone and spent it on cars and holidays and all these things, there's no way we'd be where we are now, and we're going to carry on doing that. Now we're going to carry on reinvesting. We're still spending thousands on Facebook ads a month, and growing our email list and getting our word out there and getting more phone calls to the business and things like that. And we're still obsessing about growing the company. We're still obsessed about spending money on mentorship. We spend potentially thousands a month on mentorship and on coaching and things like that to help us get better and better and better. If you can take enough money for yourself, everything else is reinvested back in, and it will pay dividends in the future. And lastly, just go for it. Like, I hear so many people just deliberating about whether they should try, whether they shouldn't, what they should do, why they should do that, trying to come up with the best idea ever. Just start learning Facebook ads, start learning Google ads, start learning how to market on Instagram, start learning how to do SEO, do websites, whatever it is your chosen field that you want to kind of go into, just start doing it. Find some people you can do it for free and just get some case studies, get the ball rolling. Nothing's going to happen unless you make it happen. So the last thing I'm going to say on this topic is, if you're on the fence and you're thinking about starting something, don't hesitate to ever reach out to me. Comment down below, let us know the kind of business you want to do, and I'm sure everyone can kind of help out and give some advice. But thanks for listening to my video. I'm not sure how long this one's going to be, but I appreciate you sticking around. And of course, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and I will see you in the next one.